Peace, love, and light. Virgo Libra Cusp Collective. Welcome back to Cusp of Roses for your love energy reading, your timeless love energy reading. I hope that this live finds you well and in the highest vibration possible. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support of my channel and everything that you guys have just done, just with the comments, the likes, the shares are amazing. And just for checking me out on my other social media platforms as well. I truly appreciate it, y'all. If you're new here, welcome. I'm very grateful that you decided to check me out today or whenever you are seeing this reading. Make sure you read through the description box below, okay? It's going to have everything you need to know in order to get the most out of my readings. And definitely check out my community board so that you are up to date and in the loop on what you can expect from my channel moving forward, okay? So let's get into this, Virgo Libras. We are going to get into our moment of gratitude. This is going to be me guiding you through 4 deep breaths. 2, I will verbally guide you. The other 2 will be done in silence. You are, of course, more than welcome to breathe along with me. If you prefer to do the prayer that we used to do, please do so. If you have your own prayers or gratitude practices that feel right for you in the moment, just to kind of ground your energy, get into communion with your higher self, your divine source, your spiritual teams, and really be open and ready for whatever confirmations, messages, information, anything you really need to hear that's important for you and your journey, okay? So for those that will be breathing along with me, let's go ahead and prepare for our first deep breath. Let's breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Let's go ahead and get into these messages here, Virgo Libra. Thank you so much, Divine, for clearing my energy and connecting me in with the Virgo Libra Cusp Collective. What love messages are important for Virgo Libra in the now moment? What love messages are important? Okay. So we have first card to fall out here was Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world here. You also have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you two together. And then you have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. This has been pretty much like repetitive. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have unrequited love. Okay, so there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Some of you could be experiencing some form of codependent relationship or really needing to walk away from a situation that is very reminiscent of your childhood. Whether you are aware of that or not, there's some facet of a connection that you're a part of, Virgo Libra, that is, I just get this energy of mirrors that kind of mirrors whatever dysfunction in relationships that you grew up under, okay? And so there's a need to kind of find some time with yourself, maybe even just time with this person to kind of analyze that or talk about it, be open about whatever that is coming up for you, because I do feel like it's coming up out of, again, it's like a mirrored experience. It's something is clicking for you here, Virgo Libra. And there's a need to really put in this work of affirming the love that you desire, okay? Because for some of you, the love that you are a part of in the now moment just isn't it. And I'm sorry that that's coming out, but with the unrequited love and the retreat, it's making me feel like this is something that you are going to have to pull away from, Virgo Libra, in order to not only heal whatever this family issue is, and find that forgiveness, right? In order for you to operate in love a little bit more whole and a little bit more from a healthier place. But also, with the calling in your soulmate, it means that the destined soulmate for you, right? We all have soulmates, but if we're talking about like the one, right? There's multiple, but the one that could be a life partner has yet to kind of come in. And I think it's because you're still dealing with this unrequited love situation. Okay? All right. Let's dig a little deeper with the Sun and Moon Tarot. This is an oldie but goodie on my channel. I'm excited to bring it back. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, we have the Five of Wands here for retreat energy. Again, strife in this deck. So really needing to go find some time to address some inner conflict or some sort of conflict that you may be experiencing. Yeah, and then you have Judgment, just to get to the bottom of it, to call, not to call it a day, but just to kind of call it what it is. It's like finally getting the clarity from that Judgment card on what you're actually up against, about what this unrequited love is about. And then, yeah, finding the strength to see yourself differently. And what I mean by that, Virgo Libra, is looking at your experiences in love and seeing, rather than feeling victimized by it, which I don't really feel. Anyway, I'll stay away from that. Rather than feel victimized by it, right? Let it be a source of power for you. Let it be a source of power for you. And I think that for some of you, what it is, it's like if you watched a parent be super strong through maybe a toxic relationship, or, you know, whatever ups and downs your parents went through while growing up, it's like you're almost mirroring that strength as a means of, that's how you have to be in love. And I think what you're coming into the knowledge of is your parent was like that, or had to show up like that in that relationship for a reason and a purpose. And it's a little bit unnecessary for you to kind of show up in that same similar way. And what I mean by unnecessary is that it just feels like you might be carrying the energy of what you witnessed as like your own burden to heal, or your own lesson to learn. And I think you're in a different space, which is why you've been kind of conflicted a little bit about how you feel you need to show up in love, but then what you're actually feeling in love. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, I know that I got to be this and I have to do that and I'm going to have to do that. But it's like, is the relationship really calling or requiring you to be in that mode? Or is it just you acting out what you saw growing up, right? It's a bit of a trip mentally when you get to that point, especially when it comes to your love life and relationships. But it's like, what you maybe saw growing up was unrequited love, and so it's thinking that that's exactly what love is, right? That there's always going to be one person who is fighting for it and the other person who isn't, or that there's always going to be this like person that keeps it together and sticks by. But it's realizing that you're just kind of playing out those toxic cycles and those patternings, okay? But let's look at this calling in your soulmate. Thank you so much, Divine. Yeah, Six of Pentacles, calling in some reciprocity here, calling in a successful relationship. And I think that that's exactly what you'll come to see, is that how you were either internalizing what you saw growing up has kind of brought you into these unrequited situations, right? And so now it's retreating, it's coming to terms with that, with the Judgment. It's not being a victim of the situation, but seeing your own strength and then moving forward, right? Now actually naming and affirming the love that you feel you desire now that you're aware of this patterning, okay? Thank you so much, Divine. Please show me what Virgo Libra needs to know about calling in your soulmate. Yeah, Two of Wands. The path is yours to make. It's up to you to create it. It's your vision, really. It's your vision. And so that's why it has to come from you to affirm it. It's not going to be given to you if you don't claim it in a way of by saying, I deserve this type of love. I am lovable, right? Like really imagining that healthy relationship that you really want and you know you deserve here, Virgo Libra, okay? What's the overall for calling in your soulmate? And I'm also getting a bit of a stubbornness here with this Two of Wands too. It's like, once you know what it is you do want, Virgo Libra, don't let your eye or your energy stray away from that. Like, have dominion over that. Like, really walk strong and firm, okay? What's the overall energy Virgo Libra needs to know about calling in your soulmate? Thank you. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Truth here. And this is exactly what the divine is maybe hoping from you when it comes to your love life, Virgo Libra. There's a need to just be super clear and honest about what it is that you want, regardless of what that looks like, regardless if it's taboo or, you know, because I'm getting a little bit of that. Like some of you might be into more unconventional style of love and relationships and maybe, again, what you saw growing up or what you were raised to believe is okay. You are free to be yourself here, okay? But it's just being honest with yourself about that, because maybe there's still parts of you, Virgo Libra, that hasn't fully accepted that that is the love that you crave, or hasn't fully accepted that you deserve a better love than what you've just experienced. You definitely deserve more than unrequited love, Virgo Libra, at the very least, right? And so that's something that you'll, again, have to affirm within yourself, right? This is communication energy, Ace of Swords, Gemini energy a little bit as well. So really getting that balance, okay, when it comes to understanding that it's never going to be perfect, right? No one is perfect. You're not perfect. Love will never be 100% foolproof to plan the way that you see it. But as long as you can see your truth and express your truth and live out your truth in that love, then it's worth it, right? And so that's that calling in. So the divine is really has like an open ear to your requests right now. And they, you know, the divine always does, but it almost feels a little bit more special. Like they really are wanting you to claim the successful relationship with the Six of Pentacles that you know you deserve and walk as if you deserve it. Two of Wands, dominion, right? All right, let's look into healing family issues. Thank you so much, Divine, for these beautiful messages for Virgo Libra. Please show me what Virgo Libra cuspers need to know about healing family issues. Wheel of Fortune, that's good. Okay. All right. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune was the first card to pop up here, Virgo Libra. So we'll go with this. This is Sagittarius energy, Jupiter energy. Okay, it's understanding that whatever family issues you experienced, right, whatever you really need to forgive your parents for was fated for you to experience, right? Had you not seen that growing up, had you not been a part of those relationship dynamics or absorbed some facet of those relationship dynamics, you wouldn't be who you are today, right? So that ultimately set you on the path that you're on now when it comes to love, and it's up to you to explore. Two of Wands, right? It's really a testament to your own power and your own strength here, Nine of Wands, right? On what you are determined and willing to accept and what you're determined and willing not to accept. So that's exactly why you experienced whatever this was in your childhood with your parents, because it was up to you to do it a little differently. And without that experience, you wouldn't necessarily know how to push the ideals of love forward as far as your own energy and your own evolution, okay? And you have the Six of Cups here, exactly. So more childhood energy, more nostalgia. It's pleasure in this particular deck, but it's, yeah, it's just understanding that this really, understanding the fate behind everything. really offers you this space of compassion, because it's understanding that had those situations not been present again in your life, you wouldn't be who you are today. Six of Cups, right? You wouldn't have had to do whatever deep work you've done up to this point to better understand yourself, to better understand love and relationships, right? You wouldn't have had to heal those parts of your inner child had you not had these situations and experiences. So it's really a gift, right? The Wheel of Fortune. It's really a blessing in disguise here, Virgo Libra. And that blessing in disguise is, in fact, this Ten of Pentacles. Absolutely gorgeous energy. 10 of Pentacles, right? So it's really being able to, and they've given me this word, like, set the record straight, but I don't really feel like, I don't know how my guides are really wanting me to apply that. I guess where maybe your parents got a little off the record, right? Or off the path, Two of Wands, it's up to you to kind of reset that focus when it comes to love energy, and make sure that your future children, if you have them already, if you want them, and even if you don't, but the lineage that you leave behind is a reflection of this Ten of Pentacles energy, right? Is something that is abundant, is something that does bring a lot of generational wealth, right? When you plant a tree, that's life forever. That tree will grow for years as long as it's well maintained and maintenance, right? And so it's almost like that's kind of the focus here, and that kind of feels like the type of love that you are wanting to call in. That's like your truth, is wanting this foundation with someone, wanting to be well off material wise, right? Well off financially, and just have a very stable foundation that can last. And maybe that could be a part of the resentment. Maybe your parents didn't necessarily set up anything that could last, right? So it kind of feels heavy and on your shoulders. But again, with the Success card, I feel like the divine is definitely going to match your efforts here. Yeah, and that ultimately you will kind of, like, I kind of feel like you've maybe made a promise to yourself as a child here, Virgo Libra, like, I'm never going to do what my parents did, or, I'm going to make sure I do it this time's better. I'm going to have that. It's like those things are actually tangible for you in this energy that you're approaching, or that you're sitting in the now moment. So long as that you can be, again, Ace of Swords, honest with yourself about that, and get clear with the universe about what it is you want. And I think for some of you, there could even be like a tinge of guilt about wanting this, like, almost like, well, if my parents weren't able to provide it, is it wrong for me to want that? Is it wrong? Is it going to feel like, rubbing it in their face or somehow? Like, I'm getting some of that energy. Don't be so concerned about how your parents are going to take whatever you want out of love, right? Especially if they have, I'm getting like some traditional ideas, because again, that unconventional love kind of popped up in your energy. So it's really just, again, Two of Wands, up to you to live your truth. Right? It's up to you to claim the successful relationships you want. It's up to you to walk that path and live your truth. That is calling in your soul's mate, calling in the life that you desire. Okay? Alrighty, let's go ahead and see what's activating you in love in the now moment. Thank you so much, Divine. Okay. What's activating Virgo Libra cuspers in love in the now moment? Does something flip? Yeah. Can I get one more? Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Spontaneity is at the bottom of your deck. You have elevation, humility, and gratitude. Gratitude was the first one to come out. So you fully appreciate the invaluable lessons that life lovingly presents to you. And this is, again, it's that faded energy. And being grateful, like I said, it's a blessing in disguise, Virgo Libra, that you had to witness whatever you witnessed growing up from your parents when it comes to love, or from your family. It was a blessing in disguise, because I almost feel like, again, it taught you what you don't want. It taught you maybe some things, again, that you had to work through. It led you to this path of healing that you're on. So there's a need to be grateful for that. And I know that that can be, again, easier said than done, but you'll get there. Just really, again, appreciating, thank you for that lesson. It was fated to happen, and you find a lot of peace when you think about it in that way, okay? You also have humility. You have developed a loving awareness that you and everyone else are the same, but on different paths. Exactly. So, as much as you could maybe want to hold resentment towards your parents or your loved ones for not being able to do this or not being able to do that, or there's a need, again, from that gratitude energy comes humility. It's that understanding of that was their path and they needed to make those mistakes or they needed to present those situations to you. And not that they were doing it consciously, but it had to happen that way in order, again, for you to be who you are in this moment. So the more you love who you are in the moment, the more you can kind of love the experiences that led you up to this moment. All right. So understand your parents are on their path, you are on yours, and yours is up to you to create. Okay. So you don't have to mirror those cycles. You don't have to mirror those patterns. You can do it differently. And then we have elevation. You are making the conscious decision to raise your vibration of love. And that's exactly what this retreat energy is really, that's like what's necessary, right? To really take a step back right quick. Analyze whatever's bringing you this strife, this internal conflict, okay? Call judgment on it, right? Like bring it up. For some of you, it's really just acknowledging whatever did happen in your childhood as dysfunctional. Maybe that's even hard for you to say or hard for you to look at or think about. But again, let it be a source of strength, 9 of Wands, as opposed to weakness or looking at yourself as a victim, okay? Just be wary of that energy because that's going to counteract this calling in your soulmate that you're trying to do. But that's the elevation. It's making the conscious decision to do it differently. Okay. Alrighty. Let's look and see what energy could be connected in with this love reading. I know it was a little bit more focused on kind of your love journey as an individual as opposed to a connection or someone else. So you have Virgo that came out here. Got Libra. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Divine. Any other energies that Virgo Libra needs to be aware of? A Taurus. Okay. So, like I said, if this is an unrequited love situation that you're becoming aware of, it could be with a Taurus, Virgo, Libra, or someone who has Taurus in their chart. But here you are showing up, Virgo, right? And Libra, which is very beautiful. So I feel like, again, it's you really coming to terms with yourself. And like I said, some of you, it could be a little bit of like stubbornness, that you're up against, or that could be kind of somewhat like the basis of this unrequited love. I don't know, that's going to resonate for somebody out there, but they just gave me stubborn when I looked at the Taurus energy. And yeah, that could be what you witnessed a lot growing up, just kind of like a lot of headbutting from your parents. And so feeling like that's the only way to really truly show love is if you're constantly fighting with one another. So you're coming out of that cycle, Virgo Libra, which is good, and it's going to be really healthy for you. But this is absolutely beautiful energy. I love how you showed up for yourself, Virgo Libra, as always. And I will see you all in your next one. Remember, I will post these oracles on my Instagram page soon, so look out for that. Go ahead and give me a follow at Cusp of Roses. And I still have to put that poll out on how to use my Twitter page, but that will come out shortly. So if you see that poll, make sure you give it a vote, okay, for what you would want to see from me on Twitter. But yeah, I hope that this helped you, Virgo Libra. I hope that this really either gave you some confirmation on how to move forward or what you are kind of dealing with so that it kind of brings you some peace, okay? But I will see you, Virgo Libra, in our next reading. Namaste.